Yoga is a union. Yoga is also samadhi, which samadho. Each root can have many interpretations. For some people, samadhi may happen due to past birth. Bhava pratyayo videha prakriti layana. For others, they had to work hard. Patanjali says Shraddha is the first step. Trust that if I keep on walking this path with hard work, I'll get the result. Virya, energy or willpower. Smriti, awareness. Samadhi, prajna. A special mental makeup for spirituality. But this samadhi is nearer to them who put intense effort. Tivra samveganam asana. And effort also mridu madhya adimatratva tatopi vishesha. So on one side, one great philosopher says, to get into Swarupa Avastha, in that peace and bliss, there are two ways. One is path of will, other is path of surrender. So after this, Patanjali says, Ishvara pranidhanat va. Either you have all these qualifications or just surrender to God. But surrender is not so easy. Like Shavasana, looks very easy, but it is also difficult. In Baroda, we had a camp for diabetes, 40 participants. 39 people got full benefit as per parameters taken. One lady, she will do all the practices. At the end, when Shavasana time is there, she will walk off home, telling Shavasana, I will do it the home. So, because what is there, Shavasana, it is just lie down. But we all know that when you don't do Shavasana properly, you don't get full benefit. So it looks very easy to surrender. But surrender means acceptance, to accept the life. But if we can do that, then wonderful results are there. Instant samadhi. Samadhi siddhi Ishvara pranidhanat. There's a very beautiful book, Brij Ke Bhakt. Wonderful stories of great devotees who had firm trust in God. Sometimes when we keep on telling surrender, accept, some people had doubt. If we accept everything, people will exploit us. But if we have true trust in God, surrender totally, manasa, vacha, karmana, accept the creation itself, then we become the instrument of the divine. Then divine works through you. And divine is all powerful. No one can exploit you then. Your very personality, your aura, by virtue of your dunya jukti hai, jukane wala chahiye. The very effulgence will be such that nobody dare exploit a devotee. Devotee is the more powerful because God is there working through him, most powerful entity. About 100 years before, when British were ruling our country, there was a British collector in Mathura. So he was very fond of hunting. He was a very cruel person. All were afraid of him. So in Vrindavan, near Nandagaon, there's a Uddhav Kyari, a forest-like area full of deer. So he goes for hunting there. And when he was taking his gun to shoot a deer, suddenly he found somebody holding his gun. When he looks back, very strong, lengthy, fair complex, effulgent man. He told, I advise you, don't do this. Even Mughals, they didn't hunt this area. This is a very holy place. By that time, all the soldiers, they come and catch hold of this strong man to thrash him. And even the collector looks at him, terrorizing him. What he could see, he was known to be very powerful collector, and how dare this simple man hold his gun? There must be something. And the very effulgence on his face. So he asks, who are you to prevent me? But his tone is a little mellowed down. He says, I am a citizen here, simple person, but if you don't listen to me, you will invite the wrath of gods. It's up to you. So seeing his fearlessness, but yet our Vice President Professor Vasani used to say, be mild but firm. It is not necessary to show anger. By getting angry, we lose a lot of energy, spoil our health. So the way he told with peace, in the eyes fearlessness, but voice was firm and mild. Even this so-called British collector, and he is an Indian citizen, he could be impressed by his very personality. So he takes him to his tent and talks about him at length, and ultimately drops the idea of not only hunting there, not to come into that area, and issues the order, nobody should hunt in this sacred place. So who was this person who had this power to even control this collector? He was a magistrate in Kashmir. Afterwards, he came to be known as Prem Baba. So when he was magistrate in Kashmir, then once in his court, a strange case comes of his nephew, his sister's son, who had not committed any crime but in false case, and he knew that. But the way court presents the case, the false witnesses, officially he could not prove innocence of his nephew. And if he says something, then people think he is partial because it is his nephew. So sometimes we get into such dharma sankata, dilemmas. So he simply resigned and comes to Vrindavan. Anyway, he was very fond of Krishna, and he had been always dreaming to come to Vrindavan. So when there is intense urge for some holy goal, God creates situation. So he is happy by resigning his post, comes to Vrindavan, and then in Vrindavan he knew that best way to worship God is to have total detachment, vairagya, live on bhiksha. So he decides to go to some ashram. There is Navad Baba's ashram for bhiksha. But he thought in his mind, this is a holy place, so it was considered very sacred to have silken robes. Pure, they are considered pure in puja. So he puts on those robes, goes for bhiksha. Then Avad Baba says he could see this person must be great by his very personality, by his walking, body language, but he is full of vairagya. So he says bhiksha should not be asked in the silken garment. You have to come in a simple way. But you come to my katha, Bhagavad Katha in the evening, then I'll tell you how to go about. And eventually he becomes his disciple, and then he himself at the order of his Baba, Avad Baba, starts giving Bhagavad Katha, and he he was very fond of cows, cow protection. So hundreds of cows will be around his ashram. And he was so wonderful, so loving, that local villagers, farmers, they allowed him, they told, let your cows come and freely graze anytime, anywhere in our fields, because all the milk he'll go to give to temples and sadhu seva. And he left his body at the right age of 100 years. So when we are great devotee of God, then God takes care of us. This is a fear that if I am devotee, if I surrender, then people will exploit. It's academic fear. Provided in our mind also we don't have hatred for people. We accept this, total acceptance, not with feeling of insecurity. Oh, I'll be exploited. Then those vibrations will have different impact. So this confidence, God says, why fear when I am near? So when you have this confidence that God is with me, then that confidence protects me. Whether God is there or not, that's not important. Whom you surrender is not important. When we accept, there's tremendous expansion of consciousness, and there's different sacred power we carry that are around us. So this does not happen only to simple devotees. Sometimes, because this Prem Baba heard a lot about Krishna, so sometimes we have knowledge but we don't experience. He had knowledge of Krishna, but to experience he came to Vrindavan. Sometimes it happens other way around. There is experience but knowledge is not there. So in Bihar there is a Ara district, and in one small village there was a queen, Girija Devi. Her husband was a great landlord, Mrityunjay Prasad Singh. Now Girija Devi was very beautiful lady, very kind, very loving, but good in administration also. So people used to love her and worship her and adore her. She had 2 wonderful sons and 2 daughters, but she was not at peace. She will feel some presence in her heart, but she didn't know who is that dark, complex person. So sometimes we have experience of a person about whom we don't have knowledge. Like a mother who was in Pondicherry. She got the vision of Sri Aurobindo before she saw him in France. Similarly, once in England, one Greek lady, she was so happy, oh, you are from India and this Sai Baba is there. So I asked, how you knew about Sai Baba? I didn't know him. Once in a dream I saw one effulgent person and I didn't know who is this person, but he attracted me like anything and my chronic disease went away in dream by his touch, and I was wondering who is this person, a strange person. And then I went to somebody's house and saw the picture of Sai Baba. Then oh, he is the person who came in my dream. And then she became the devotee of Sai Baba. Sometime we'll have experience, but knowledge comes afterwards. Maybe due to past, punya, whatever. So this Girija Devi used to feel the presence of a divine entity in her heart, some dark, complex person, effulgent, Neelamani-like. So who is this person? That feeling didn't allow her to get lost in the worldly matters. Always she will be the divine feeling. And when divine conspiracy is there, you get very funny, strange experiences, sometimes very sad experiences. We don't realize the importance of those tragic experiences in our life. One by one, both of her sons, due to there was epidemic disease, they died. That was the last thing of attachment, and she decides to come to Vrindavan. Her husband, Mrityunjay Prasad Singh, he saw that even a glass of water is given to her by her servants. How she will live in Vrindavan? But she was a great devotee, and seeing her, and otherwise she is miserable, she was almost paralyzed. Even servants will give food, put on clothes, and nobody knew what's happening. What is that person who is attracting her? Then he tells to his Kul Guru that this is a state of her mind, what can I do? Then he says, I will read Bhagavad Katha for her. And when he starts Bhagavad Katha, describes Krishna, they say, oh, this is a person whom I feel this dark complex, this Krishna. So she comes to Vrindavan and stays in a place. And then all the time she has this feeling of Krishna will come in dream, sometime in reality. But why Krishna is not showing him to me? Why in dream and giving glimpse and vanishing? So devotees take a liberty with God. So she says, I will not take name of Krishna, I will take name of Radha. So she drops taking name of Krishna and always Radha, Radha, Radha. There's a nice bhajan. क्या है? राधे जपो चले आएंगे मुरारी, ऐसा कुछ है ना? राधे राधे जपो चले आएंगे. You know, if the house lady is in favor of you, everything is very easy. So she thinks, let me take name of Radha. Then Krishna has to surrender. He comes through a devotee. इसको बोलते हैं आवेश. When somebody becomes a medium. So one great sage, Kalsar, but it was Krishna who was talking through sage. Oh, why you abandoned me? Why you left me? Tell me. So she is surprised why this sage is telling like this. Then she understood Krishna is speaking to me through him. And then she was so happy that Krishna came to me, but meanwhile her husband dies. And she has to go to her estate to take care of the property estate. But she was so detached, real treasure she got, and then she decides to give up all the property to poor people. So for that she does a big yagna, and through which she will give up everything and come back to Vrindavan. Or by this time she was so saturated with Krishna feeling she didn't want anything, even God, because she was herself in Krishna bhava. So after Puranahuti was over in that yagna, very next day she left her body forever to go to Goloka Dana. So once we are tuned with God, God takes care of us fully. So that way, by Ishwar Parindana, immediately we are peaceful. Satarati satarati salokan tarati. Narada Bhagavan says, devotee not only is blessed, whosoever is in his proximity. Yesterday somebody asking, tell me one simplest way of sadhana. I told simplest way of sadhana is being near a devotee. That's all. I read the Hari Katha, stories of devotee. You are so purified with all the sadhanas, chitta shuddhi, purification of heart, and your heart gets purified by listening to the stories of great devotees. This wonderful book, Vrijike Bhakti. Om Asato